Alrighty, spur of the moment live stream. We're gonna get this done. Actually, I'm gonna turn this back right off. Hold on. See how that is. That's a bit better, maybe. There we go. All right, spur of the moment live stream. My wife and kids just went out to karate, so I thought I'd do a little bit of a live stream and see how it goes tonight. Today was crazy. I'm not sure if anyone's gonna come on. It's says just spur of the moment. It's almost 6:30. Today I had my buddy Tom Wolf come over from Wolf Lawn Care, and we were just chatting some business stuff to see how our year was and see how it went. I was just wondering how everybody's season went. It is almost December, and hey, how's it going? I'm gonna put a link up here if anyone wants to come up and chat with me on camera. That'd be great. But I was just saying that it's the year end now for us, at least for me. My season is done. We don't do any snow, so we are pretty much done. I've got my equipment put away. I've taken my one more over to get fixed. I do have my one deck here I gotta take over to my parents. I gotta do that maybe tomorrow because we had a bunch of snow today. I don't know if it's gonna stick around or not, but we are just getting ready to wind down for the season and just get ready for next season. So I just want to see how everybody's season was this year. Were you guys busy? Did you meet our goals? I've been trying to, for the last couple of years, to do goal videos and actually write goals down. So they say with goals, you're supposed to actually write them down every day. So they're fresh in your mind, and I never do that. I always just write down the goals that I want for the season, and then I go and make a video for it, and that's what I do. But I really should do a writing them down every day so I actually can hit the goals I wanted. But saying that, I did hit a bunch of goals this year. I wanted to hire a second crew this year. I definitely did that. I had 2 crews all season long, which is amazing. And then another goal that I wanted to hit was hitting a certain revenue amount to pull in, and I blew that away. I actually went over it, and the only way I was able to do that was having that second crew. So that was amazing. I was blown away. I didn't think I could ever do that, but I did. I didn't think I would be able to have a business as big as I do. So next year I'm going to make that goal even bigger. I'm saying that that ties back into that one goal of having employees and having a second crew. I need to have that second crew again with me. I need to upcharge the customers or upsell customers on jobs to get the jobs coming in more. I need to have higher paying jobs. Higher paying jobs is key. This year I had a lot of higher paying jobs, some of the highest paying jobs I've ever had. And that is what helped me get to where I am for my sales this year. So I need to do the same thing for next year. I've already got a couple deck jobs I need to quote and put out there. So tomorrow I should go, there's one across the lake I need to quote. So I need to go over there, measure the deck up and send that quote off as well. So saying that, if I get all this work coming in, I need to get employees coming in too, because if I don't have the employees, I can't do this work by myself. And if I only have enough employees to cut grass, I have to go do this other work by myself. And I actually need help with some of these jobs because I got this big heavy machine that we do decks with, and I can't lift that machine by myself. So I do need people. As of right now, I know I only have one person coming back out of 6 people that I had this year. So I am working on trying to get more people for next year already. I put a job out on Job Bank. I've had a lot of people applying, but they're all from overseas, and I'm not sure how that would work. I did message them all back and say, have you researched my job area? Have you researched the job? Have you researched where we are, so you know what the like where we live and what it entails? And some of them say, I don't care. I'll just give me the job and I'll come out and figure it out when I get here. I'm like, can't have that happening. So I'm a little bit nervous about having people next year, but I do have a lead on one job for next year. One employee for next year. So I am hoping to hire somebody right off the bat already to help for next year. It's actually a customer. His son was working for another lawn care company about I don't know, like 45 minutes to an hour away from here, and it's just too far for him to go. So the dad called me up and asked if I would hire him on. So I'm gonna try and get an interview with him set up and see if I'm gonna hire him on for next year, because that would be fantastic to get a person already for next year started. And if you guys have any comments or questions who are watching, or if you want to jump up on the screen with me and have a chat, I have put the link beside there in the chat. So if you guys want to come up and have a chat, so I'm not talking by myself, or if you have any questions, leave questions in the comment section, and then I will answer some questions if you guys have any questions. But I'm just trying to talk about, tonight, about how my season was and how your season was. How did it go? This year was an explosive year for me, and like I said, I've got a lead for an employee already for next year, which I need, because I had 6 employees this year, and I think I only have 1 coming back. So I need to get a bunch of employees coming on for me, because I've already got a ton of jobs already pre-booked for my window cleaning and deck stuff. So I already know I've got jobs for that. My lawn care, I'm not worried about that. I always get the lawn care coming in. That big unit that we did this year, that 31 unit commercial place we had this year, I'm pretty sure I'm getting it back already this year, because he asked me for a quote for next year. I did keep that price the same for next year, just because it was so high priced and we made a killing off that lawn. So I'm not worried about putting up some extra money, because I had 4 guys and they were doing that place in like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And it was the biggest money maker I've ever had for lawn maintenance. So that's pretty sweet. And then also for that job, they have these in the roadway, they got these like little islands, they got trees and the bushes there, and they're all weedy and they have mulch in there, but they have the mulch for a long time. So I sent him a quote for that already for next year. So the whole area is run by board members. So the board members have to approve the quote. So I'm hoping to hear back from that. And if I land that job, that would be a pretty sweet job to get done in the springtime. That will probably be, if I have my whole crew with me, if we have 6 people with me, we could probably get that job done in a day. Because there's a lot of weeding to be done there, a lot of weeds to get all these gardens that haven't been done in a while. They're kind of crappy weeds, so like long stringy weeds. I hate them. But yeah, so we're hoping to get that job done. And then we've got 2 quotes for deck cleaning, staining already. So I guys get those tomorrow. I gotta work on those and send those off for next year. But yeah, I've got a lot of jobs I want to try and get going for next year. And so yeah, so the way I had a really good season this year was I kind of got over my fear of asking customers for jobs. I would never do that. I would never ask customers for jobs. But last year, at the end of the season, I asked 1 customer about cleaning their deck and staining it, and they said yes. And I was like, really? And they didn't even ask for a price. So I said, no, I got to give you a price. So I gave them a price. They went for it. Now, saying that job was very, very low on, because I wasn't very sure how to quote deck jobs that well when I started. I'm getting better at it now. So the jobs I booked this year were very high priced, and I had quite a few people go for it. But so if you guys are looking to get more work, if you're slow or whatnot, this is the best way I've got work so far for this year to boost up my crew, to keep them working and get work as well, is when you're at a customer's house, look around their houses. And depending on what work you do, like for me, I'll do the window cleaning, the lawn care, the deck cleaning. So if I'm there doing like a window cleaning job and I see a deck that needs to be cleaned, I'll ask the customer, hey, you be interested in having your deck cleaned or stained? And if they say yes, I'll give them a quote. I'll measure the deck up. I'll come home, send them a quote off. Now I'm not landing every job for that, but I am landing enough that I'm happy with. The stain I use is called Q-Tex and is very, very expensive. Usually that stain is part, or like almost a quarter of the price of the job, because there's a lot of labor that involved as well. So I'm gonna put the link up here again. If anybody has questions or whatever, please leave me something so I can answer questions. Or if anyone wants to come up and have a chat with me on screen, that'd be awesome. But yeah, so anyways, the stain we use is called Q-Tex. It's very, very expensive. that is really good stain. It doesn't peel, chip, or crack. And you put 2 coats down, and then basically you just have to do maintenance on it every 2 years. So with this stain, you don't have to sand it all off. All you do is go back, give it a quick clean, and throw another coat of stain on, and you're done. And I actually had one customer this year that we went and washed his windows for, and he actually kept on liking my posts on Instagram, and he was actually sending me messages and asking me questions about the stain and whatnot. So I guess he was having his one deck redone, and he was trying to figure out if he wanted that stain or the other stain that the guy was telling him. So the stain the other guy told me about was Thompson's water seal, and he was basically telling me that the stain that I use, the Q-Tex, doesn't work very well. That when you put it down, you can't have it rain for 2 weeks. It's got a longer curing time, which it does have a little bit of longer drying time, but not 2 weeks. I've put it down, rain 2 days later, and there's no issues because the stain keeps the water out and it kind of beads up like Gore-Tex. So the guy didn't go for the Q-Tex. The guy actually went for the Thompson's water seal, and I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, I had a customer that we actually did that for years ago, and he actually, I think it was like 6 months later, said, "Okay, well, can you quote me for the Q-Tex because the Thompson water seal, it just comes off, it kind of peels and comes off, and just it doesn't last, and it stays on top. It doesn't soak into the wood. Where Q-Tex is an oil and it soaks into the wood." So that customer, we ended up doing the Q-Tex for him, and I really should resell him on doing it because I did this customer's job like over like 8 years ago, and it needs to be done. Like the color's still on it, but it hasn't peeled, chipped, or anything. But it's just is really dirty. So I really should upsell him on it. But he's a really cheap customer, so I know he won't go for it. But yeah, the Thompson water seal, I go to the customer. Listen, um, he's having his deck done next season. So I told him, you know what? Why don't you let me do the Q-Tex on your back deck, and then you can test it out with the Thompson water seal on your front deck and see which works better. And he's like, well, I'm gonna see how the Thompson's works out over the season, see how it weathers over the winter or whatnot. But I'm like, I don't know. They if he ends up going with me to do the Q-Tex, I'm gonna have to sand all that stuff back down to bare wood again. And that's where the cost is, sanding it all back down. It's expensive to do that because you gotta sand it all out. With the Q-Tex, if you don't sand it out, it's not gonna soak into the wood. So I'm gonna try and upsell him. I might message him again in the springtime and say, hey, listen, do you want me to do the Q-Tex for you on your back deck and just compare it with the Thompson's water seal? Because I was just kind of blown away that the guy told me that the Thompson's was better than Q-Tex, and I've used the Thompson's a couple times over the years before I knew about the Q-Tex, and it's not a good product. It's crap. It doesn't last. So yeah, but that's what I'm trying to do right now is upsell my decks. I really want to, so for next year, and actually for this year too, for this season, I was really focusing on my lawn care and trying to upsell decks. My window cleaning, if you don't know, I do window cleaning as well. That used to be like 50-50 of my business. I used to do like 50% windows and 50% lawn care, but now my lawn care is blowing up. I got way more lawn care. And this year, my window cleaning, I didn't have that much window cleaning. I usually have a ton of window cleaning. Like we will be booked solid for 4 people for 4 days straight for window cleaning. This year, we weren't even like that. I was doing a lot more decks, and yeah, I'm trying to stop doing window cleaning as much, only because I don't want to go up the ladder. Now, saying that, we did do a lot of window cleaning this year. We did a lot of bigger jobs. I'm trying to only do the jobs that are like $1,000 window cleaning jobs. I have a lot of people calling me with like $100 jobs, and where we live, it's all rural, and I really don't want to be driving all around the countryside to be doing like these $100 jobs. It's just not worth it. So I'm trying to really focus on, if I do window cleaning, to do the bigger paying jobs and not go up ladders as much. Some of these cottages we have around here, they need high ladders. Like I got a 30-foot ladder that I really don't want to go up anymore. So saying that, I did have a customer at the end of the season, a new guy. He wants me to stain his deck and clean his windows. His windows, I actually have to rent a boom for it because the front side is all window. It's got to be at least 50 feet high, and I'm not going up a ladder to clean that. So in the spring, I'm going to hit him up again, just kind of try and reconnect with him, because he actually stopped in the middle of the road one day and asked us about all the jobs we do. So I give him a quote on everything, and he wants me to do the mulch. He's approved the mulch. He's approved the deck. So in the springtime, I'm going to say, hey, listen, we'll come to your deck in the springtime, and hopefully we can get that job booked in for the springtime. But excuse me, but that's what I've been trying to do for this season, because I really wanted to build my business up. And the two things I did for that was, if you watch my channel, I've every spring I do like a video about how to upsell customers. I don't have the sheet on me, it's on my computer, but what I do, I've got the sheet that has all my services on it, as well as I've got an area where the customer can fill out their information. So what I do, I send that along with the spring letter, and customers can check off every single thing that they want. So I've got like window cleaning on there, I've got deck cleaning, I've got deck staining, I've got eave cleaning, I've got spring fall cleanups, I've got lawn care. So say a lawn care customer gets this form and they didn't realize that I did maybe window cleaning or deck cleaning or whatever, and then they'll be like, oh, I want that done too. So they'll just check that off, and then they'll I'll email them back right away and say, hey, I can come by and give you a quote for whichever job that you want, right? And every year I've done that, I've consistently got more and more work from that, from customers that I never had work from before. So that's another way to get a ton of business. If anybody wants that form, you can just message me and I don't care, I'll send it to you for free. It's honestly one of the best things I've done to upsell customers and get more work. And that's how I got my season this year really, really up there. And saying that, I just going to continue doing that. Like I said earlier, I had a fear of talking to people and trying to upsell them, but now I just go and email customers or talk, or if I'm at the job, I'll go and talk to them. Like for instance, there's a lady across the lake here. We went and cleaned her eaves out the other day, and I had asked her, hey, I noticed your decks are really slippery and it's really dangerous, because when you get that like mold or green mildew, whatever on it, it's really slippery, especially when it's wet. And it's so dangerous. I've slipped on so many customers' decks when I'm walking around them, that it's just dangerous. So I try to upsell those customers especially. And then what I do, I'll email them and say, hey, I noticed your deck was, slippery, could you use a cleaning and the stain? I send them photos of before and after photos of decks we've done. And for the most part, I get most people saying yes. But saying that, all the quotes that you put out, I don't land 100% of them, just because, like I said, they are very expensive, high price for doing them, because the stain is very expensive. And then when I do that as well, I don't I know some people will put on their sheet, they will, or on their quote, they will go and put, line items like, okay, so deck cleaning is this, the stain's going to cost this, and all that. I don't do that anymore. I used to do that. Always just quote by the job, because trying to cost out, like the product and cost out your work, your like, what I'm trying to say, your labor. I don't like doing that anymore, because what I used to do is just charge by the hour. So we would go do a job, and I would just charge by the hour, and then at the end I say, okay, it's going to cost this much money because that's how long it took us, and I charge per man hour, whatever. But I don't do that anymore. I try and do it by the square foot, and then once I come up with the square foot, I kind of add the cost of the stain on top of that. So that's why it's more expensive, because I added cost of the stain on top. I think you're supposed to have the cost of the stain in there as well, your square foot. But I'm not very good at quoting jobs. Even after doing it for these many years, I'm not very good at quoting jobs, especially the deck cleaning, deck staining is pretty new to me. So I'm just trying to figure out how to price it properly and land the jobs, or land more jobs than I am. But yeah, that is what I've been doing for my decks, and trying to upsell people on getting work. I'm now saying that I don't upsell people on window cleaning. If I'm doing a deck job, I'm not upselling people on windows. I should be, but like I said, I just don't want to go bladders anymore. And I try when I'm at customers' places, I try and, like, if somebody asks me, well, what else do you do? I go and tell them everything I do, and I say, if there's anything that you need, that you want, let me know. If we do it, I'll come give you a quote. If not, I won't do it. Like, I'm very honest that way. I'm like, I'm not going to do a job I don't know how to do, because I don't want to screw it up, and then I don't want to have to pay the cost of not doing the job proper. So I'm sticking to what I know. I'm trying to niche down and not do as many things, not branch out as much. Just because I'm tired of doing all these other jobs I don't want to do. And if I can sell my deck cleaning jobs, if I can get like 4 or 5 deck cleaning jobs in a season, I know that doesn't sound like much, but depending on the amount of work, for instance, we had this huge deck we did it in the springtime. We had to sand it down. And that deck was, I thought it was going to be fast sand. I thought we could sand the stuff off pretty fast because it was very dry. The sun hit this deck all day long, like every day. It just hits this deck, and it was very dry. But it took us quite a while to sand it down. And the 2 people I had working with me, they weren't very good at sanding because it was their first time doing it. So I had to go over some stuff they had did. But once we did that, we had to clean it, and then we put the 2 coats of stain on it. So for that job, I think that was like a week job. So some of these other bigger jobs are very long jobs. And then we had another big job that was probably about a week long as well. That was a bigger deck than the last one we did. And that was, I actually upsold that customer too. We went up and did his spring cleanup, and I go to him, I noticed your decks, could use a cleaning. He's like, we've been thinking about getting it done. So I gave him a quote. It was the highest price job I've ever priced for anything, like anything I've ever done. And he emails me back, says, it's a little bit higher than we wanted, but we want to take care of our deck, so let's do it. So that job took a while too, because there was a stain on that deck as well. Not all over the deck, but on parts of it, because it had worn off. So we had to sand that deck down, and then we cleaned it, and then we stained it. I wasn't going to scrub that deck down. I wasn't actually going to clean it. I wasn't going to sand it all down, but I ended up sanding it down anyways because there's still a lot of stain on it, and I wanted to get it all off. So we ended up sanding it. It took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but I did charge him quite a bit for it. So that was kind of a little bit of a headroom there. So we didn't lose money on it, but I did take a little bit longer than I wanted to take, but it looks amazing. I love how that deck turned out, and they're happy with it. So that was awesome. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. Leave me some comments or questions or whatever, and then I can answer any questions about whatever you guys have questions for. And if you want to jump up on screen and have a chat, that'd be awesome. Yeah, but I'm just talking about about how my season was. I'd love to know how everybody's season was this year. Did you guys meet like your goals? Did you hit everything you wanted to hit? I think I hit almost everything I wanted to do. I actually have to go back and look at my video of what my goals were. I don't remember, but that's what I was saying earlier. I need to write them down every day so I remember what they are. But I got to actually get my goals ready for next season because I got some bigger goals for next year. I know already off the bat, I want to have another 5 employees. I think 4 for lawn care, and then I had 2 with me last year or this season, but I think I might only have 1 for me last year, just to save some costs, especially when I'm doing deck jobs. We only need 2 people. I mean, we have 3 people there. One person is basically standing around, so I'm losing money when a person's standing around. But saying that, some of the window clean jobs we do, it's nice to have that 3rd person. And when I'm booking window clean jobs, like stack my days, I can stack bigger days. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, depending on what jobs I can get booked up and how many employees I can actually bring in. But that's one of my goals again this year, is to hit another like 5 employees. I think that's, but yeah, 4, 5, 6, or maybe 6, maybe 6, 4 for lawn care, and then 2 to come with me. Saying that, the lawn care, I don't know if I really need 4 people doing lawn care. Everyone always goes to me, you need 4 people to cut the lawns. I'm like, yeah, we've got a lot of big lawns and we have a big route. Because we're in the rural country, everything's not jammed close together. There's more spread out. So there's more drive time between lawns. I am working on getting more lawns closer together. But saying that, in the springtime, the lawn's a lot longer. It takes longer to cut. And having that 4th person is nice because we can have 2 people trimming, 2 people on the walkers. And then when the 2 people on the walkers are done, the guys are still trimming. They go around and start blowing out all the driveways and stuff off. We have driveways or decks or whatnot to blow off. So, yeah, so that's my goal for that. Come fall time though, like middle of the season when it starts slowing down, we don't really need 4 people on the lawns. But I usually just keep it that way anyways because they're used to it and it gets it done. And then if somebody needs a day off, then that kind of helps out because then they still have 3 people and you can still get it done with 3 people. But if I have 3 people, then somebody is sick or whatever, then you're only 2 people and we're not gonna get lawns done with 2 people in the day. They're gonna have to pull some really long days. But every year for lawns is different. From year to year, you may gain some, you may lose some. This year we picked up some really big lawns. So my big lawns, I like doing bigger lawns. I'd rather do one big lawn than have to go hit up like 3 or 4 lawns that make up the same price because it's more drive time. So I honestly would rather the bigger lawns. Like we've got that one big commercial one we did this year, the 31 units. That was a good lawn. We got a bunch of commercials we have. We actually have this one commercial that I hum and haw about it every season if I want to do it or not because it's pretty far drive away. It's about 35 to 40-minute drive away from my house, or maybe a bit longer, maybe 40 minutes, depending on the traffic or whatnot. But when my guys are in the one town, to get to that next town is like 20 minutes away, or maybe 20 minutes away. And then so it's 20 minutes drive time. Their 20 minutes drive time back is like 40-minute drive time. So that one I've been humming and hawing about losing because I could spend more time with my guys for that extra 40 minutes. They could be doing extra work or doing more lawns down this way. Saying that, I did put that price up for that lawn a lot this year. Next year, I'm going to jack it up again. I'm not sure how much. I think I jacked it like 25, 30 bucks this year. But it's still not near where it should be. Like, I think it was $225 lawn this year. I think I was charging them. Honestly, I need to have that like a $300 lawn to make it more worthwhile. And that's where that lawn should be because it's a big lawn. It takes for my guys about an hour to cut it. And there's this one area called the therapy garden where they have to go and hand push it. And then the rest is, mow with the 0 turns, and there's a lot of trimming there. So that one, every year, I've had this one for like 10 years now. I've had it ever since I got my business. It came with the business. So that one I'm not sure about. I keep on saying that every year, but I send them a sheet off every year, and they always say, "Come do it." So if they're gonna pay the price, I'll just keep on sending it and going doing it, even though unless I pick up some other lawns that are more down this closer to me, and I can make more money instead of having my guys drive so far, then I'll drop it. But yeah, I'm not sure about that one. But I've got some other couple bigger ones. I've got this other big commercial one I picked up, I think 2 years ago. 2 years ago. I think this was their second season doing it. It's a nice one to cut. I'm gonna jack their price up again next year. They did get a new property maintenance manager, so I gotta find out what his email is because I need to send that manager a quote as well for next year because I always send them a thing and they always say to come do it. It's 2 years we've done this lawn. I would like to do it again because it's in town. It's a nice lawn. The only thing about that lawn is they have 4 gardens or like 4 fencing areas where you have to go get the key and open the gates. And saying that, the end of the season, I don't think it was my guys, but he kept on calling me saying that he can't find the keys, the contractor keys. So somebody lost the keys. I don't think it was my guys because I asked them when they were there last, and they wouldn't actually take the keys. But they always take the keys back and put them back. So I'm not sure. I think they're. I don't know if they ever found them because he called me like 3 times in a month trying to find out who had the keys. I'm like, it's not us. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. If they will, I don't know. We'll find out. I'm gonna send him a quote anyways, and I hope we get it back again because it's a nice lawn, and the guys like cutting it. It's a good lawn. It takes them about an hour to cut it. There is a lot of trimming there. There's a lot of blowing to do after because there's a lot of like paved areas. They got big paved driveway. They got sidewalks, so that one does have a lot of work. But I like cutting that lawn myself. I've cut that one by myself a couple of times. It does take quite a while to cut it by yourself. The first time I ever cut that lawn, they had their lawn person not show up. So they were looking for another lawn care guy. He called me up. First time I cut it, it was literally up to my knees. And I totally underquoted how long, or underthought how long it was going to take me to cut it. And I underquoted the price on that as well for the first cut. That should have been like $1,000 cut. I charged him like $500, and then I charged him like 300, but I think I'm up to 350 now, cut on that one. But I'm gonna try and jack it to 400 next year because it's a pretty big lawn. So trying to get these lawns up to a better price, and make sure if you guys are doing your lawns, put your prices up every year. You don't have to put up like $20 a lawn, just like, a couple bucks. This year I raised all my lawns by inflation rate. So here in where I'm in Ontario, Canada, inflation rate was 6.8%. So I up all the lawns by that price, by 6.8%. Saying that, I'm going to take a look at what it is going to be for next year. And I'm going to probably raise it the same way like that, or maybe some lawns, $2 or $3. Like, I hate raising lawns $2 or $3 because it's such a little bit amount. It doesn't really add up too much. But if you can do every lawn, $2 or $3 over the full season, it will add up for you. So that's what I did this year as well. I upped all my prices. There are a couple lawns I kept the same because they were already pretty good price for what we have. But they I don't know, I'm afraid of losing people. I don't know why I'm afraid of losing people, because people always come along. But yeah, if you raise your prices by like $2 or $3, you shouldn't have any issues. Nobody should complain about it. If they do, then I've had some people complain about the price increases, but they always still come with me. I think I've got this one lady, I've raised the price like $5 every year for the last 3 seasons. Every year she complains about it. But I'm like, well, if I came in here now, I'd be charging, $50 more than what I'm charging now. And she's only every other week lawn. Her lawn is always pretty tall. So, yeah, I raised her. She complains every year and she hums and haws about it. Always comes and says, just come do it. Because I'm pretty sure if she's looking around to find somebody else, they're going to be charging her way more money, and she doesn't want to pay that price for it. So I'm going to put it up again this year, or for next year. And she is about 25 minutes away from us. So, I mean, I got to pay for my crew to get there. Got to pay for the cut it. Got to pay for all the insurance, all this stuff. So, I mean, I don't know why people expect you to do their lawns for free. And I had my buddy Tom over today. He's from Wolf Lawn Care. If you see him on Instagram, or I think he had a YouTube channel. I don't know if he does it at all, but he has Instagram. He came over and we were just talking business today, just talking about some of the stories about how employees went this year, and about customers and stuff like that. And then I actually showed him. So what I did this year for the start of the season, I had my employees come over. I did a presentation to them. Every year I'm trying to get this presentation better, more refined. So basically it's just a presentation to show them what the business is, what we do, some of the things, how we do it. And then I kind of just go over like some indoor stuff on screen. And then after that, we go outside and I show them how to run the mowers, and just go over all that stuff and how to fix them. Because if I'm not with them, they need to know how to fix the mowers on the fly. Which is going to be interesting next year because I've only got one person coming back, and I need people to know how to fix the mowers on the fly, because I don't have time to try and drive out to wherever they are to try and fix it in. The other thing with employees as well is they can't really tell what's wrong with it. I've had my mower come back a couple of times and jump on it. I'm like, what would you guys do this more? Like, I can tell there's something wrong. They're like, we didn't notice anything wrong with it. So I need to try and figure out how to get the employees to tell when the mowers are not working properly and let me know. I think I'm gonna make a sheet up. I should make a sheet up, and then they can write down on the sheet each week when they're out. Excuse me. And tell me if they notice anything wrong with it, or if there's any parts that are missing that we need. Because sometimes, like, I got my truck full of all the full of parts and stuff, whatnot. So if they use something up, then I can go buy some more stuff. I did buy a bunch of blades this year, so because I used to only buy a couple of blades and go back and buy more than I need, but I bought a ton of blades. So I just had them all on hand, and never fails, they just trash the blades. I would put brand new blades on, and within a couple hours they would have them trashed, and it's so frustrating because the blades are not cheap. Saying that, I do have the RBG, what is it, the R712, I think it is, grinder for the blades. That thing has helped me out quite a bit with my sharpening blades. A lot quicker, easier. It was expensive, but it's an investment in my business, and I know the blades are getting sharper, better now. Oh, starting on. So yeah, I'm just working on trying to get everything more streamlined and having all the employees, you know how to fix things on the fly when they're out there, um, you know, doing the work. Um, yeah, so that's kind of how our season's been going. I'm just trying to, yeah, it was a busy season. We had a lot of work coming in. We got it all done. Um, I always have customers calling me. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning now. Huh. I've had a lot of customers, new customers that call and say, "Oh, I need a job done. Can you come in like 2 days to do it?" I'm like, "I can't do it. We're already pre-booked. We book up solid." And so I've had a lot of people calling like that. I just can't do jobs like that. I hate turning them away, but I'm like, I can't do anything about that. So saying that, um, see everybody's jumped off now, so I may jump off now. I just wanted to jump on quickly and just kind of talk about how the season was and what we did and how busy our season was, and I hope everybody else had a really good season. Um, yeah, if you need help on expanding your business or have questions or whatever, feel free to message me. I love helping people out and trying to get them to figure their business out and what they need to expand it or whatever they need. So if you guys haven't done so, if you're watching this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, and anyone who's watching this, thanks for watching. And yeah, since everybody's jumped off, I'm gonna jump off now. And I got a nice big old Lego Ferrari that I need to build that I bought this year. So I'm going to start building that now. Alrighty. See you later, guys. Have a great night.